We're losing weight over here. Most people's morning routines are habits. What if we could lose weight out of habit? For me, I wanted to make weight loss as simple as possible, so I just focused on making 3 simple steps that I could follow every single day. And with these 3 habits, I have been able to lose over 40 pounds in 8 weeks, and I've been able to do it reliably and consistently. So this video is going to be a very, very special one. We're going to be talking about how I dropped over 40 pounds in just 8 weeks. We're going to talk about how to make weight loss more of a habit. And finally, we're going to go over weight loss results for week 8. And we're at that time in that video where if you're looking to lose weight, leave a like. It would really help out. And if you haven't subscribed, do it because I'm on a path to lose 100 pounds and I want to take you along for the journey. But also, hey, can't you do both? So I've been doing the same steps for the past 8 weeks, but I'm going to go over them really briefly. If you want to look into the past videos, especially the first 4 or 5, I go into a lot more detail on these 3 steps, but here we go. So I told you I wanted to keep things simple. So here's my exercise. It requires no specialized gym, no trainer, no equipment. It's walking. Every single day I would get in at least 10,000 steps. And this would be if it's nice outside, if it was raining outside, if I had the day off, if I wasn't feeling up to it. Every single day, I would make sure to get in at least my 10,000 steps without exception. Up next is probably the most important part of any kind of weight loss program, and that's the diet. And I would keep it very simple because I've been eating the same thing for the past 8 weeks, but hey, it's been working. So what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to mimic the kind of sandwich that you'd get at Subway, one of their 12-inch ones that are low fat. Each one of those is around 5 to 600 calories, and I would try to do the same thing by doing about 300 calories in bread, so typically 3 slices of bread. And then what I would do is about 200 to 250 calories in protein, typically turkey or ham. And then I'd put on as many vegetables as I like. I wouldn't count calories on those, but by the time I'm done with my sandwich, it'd be, close to the size of my head. It'd be a lot of volume, low calorie, and then, like I said, low fat. And based on the day, I would eat between 2 to 4 of these sandwiches. So let's just say on average, maybe 1,200 to 2,000 calories every single day that I'd eat. And I'd make these low fat so I wouldn't have any kind of cheese. I wouldn't have mayo, any kind of dressing. I would just have the bread, the meat, and then all the vegetables that I put on there. And this would fill me up. And that's been the secret to my weight loss. My third and final step for weight loss has been something called intermittent fasting. And to put it quite simply, it's a time to eat and then a time not to eat during the daytime. So I would typically have my meals between 5 to 7 o'clock at night. So a 2 hour eating window. And then during that time, I would have my 2 to 4 sandwiches. And once 7 o'clock rolled around, I'd be done eating for the day. Eventually, I'd go to sleep. When I wake up in the morning, there's no breakfast, there's no mid morning snack, there's no lunch. I'm not having a coffee with cream or sugar in it, anything that would have calories. It'd just be my next meal is at 5 o'clock, and that's when I'd eat. And for yourself, you can play around with this. A lot of people like to do a 16-hour fast with an 8-hour eating window, but you're going to be able to figure out what's going to be best for you. And so, putting everything together, I am walking at least 10,000 steps every single day. My diet is low fat, but it's low calorie and high volume, so it fills you up. And every day I'm eating on an intermittent fasting schedule, which means I limit the times when I can eat, and most of the time I'm fasting, so I'm just burning calories. Most importantly, this is putting everything together where my weight loss is reliable, consistent, but most importantly, sustainable. So this is going to be able to work in the long term, and it's going to get some massive results if you stick to it. So most people, when they hear that they're overweight, they're probably not too happy. When I started my journey, I started off with a BMI close to 35. It was over 35, which makes me, well into the obese range. So I've been moving from the obese range and I just dipped below the 30 BMI. So now I'm officially, and it's still on the high end, but I'm overweight. But it's really nice to get out of that obese range. And now I'm just overweight and I'm going to keep making progress. We're going to try to get down to that normal range. That's my next goal. So, how do you make exercise and make it a little bit easier in terms of making it a habit? Well, I chose walking as my exercise. And number one, I chose something that I enjoy. I enjoy going for a walk. I enjoy going for 15 minutes. I enjoy walking for an hour. I've actually done a video on my channel where I walked 10,000 steps and it took me about an hour and 45 minutes. But if I listen to a podcast and some music, the time just flies by. I also chose an exercise that I could do 7 days a week. So it's something you can continually do. Like I said, I do three different things. I do my diet, my exercise, and the timing of my eating. But I can walk anytime I want to. I don't have to have a gym. I don't need any specialized equipment. So when you're looking for an exercise, I would say make sure that it's easy to do. It's something you enjoy and just don't have any kind of limitations like I need a trainer, I need specialized equipment. Figure out something you can do and you can do every single day, make it consistent, and that makes becoming a habit that much easier. Up next, we're looking at how to make diet a little bit easier. And for myself, I spent a couple of weeks to maybe over a month figuring out foods that were healthier options for myself, and I ended up settling on low fat. Number one, if you're having fat, it's 9 calories a gram versus if you're having protein and carbs, which are each 4 calories a gram. So the amount of calories you have are not going to add up as quickly. With the low fat diet, you're able to do low calorie, you're able to do high volume. So each of these sandwiches, like I said, by the time you're done, you can have close to the size of your head and it might be 500 or 600 calories, but it's high volume. It's going to fill you up and it's low calories. And if you have a couple of those back to back, you're going to stay full. How many times have you been to McDonald's, maybe had a double cheeseburger or a Big Mac and a fry? And within the next hour or so, you're hungry just because the food wasn't satisfying. When you're looking for a diet, you want to find something that is healthier, lower in calories, more in volume, is going to fill you up. And I tend to eat towards the remainder of the day, so I'm able to sleep at night, and that just makes keeping a diet that much more simpler. In terms of intermittent fasting, I would recommend trying to eliminate a snack or a meal as a first step. Maybe you're done eating at 7 o'clock at night and you skip breakfast the following day. You might have a snack at 10 or 11 o'clock, but you're skipping that initial breakfast. Just by doing that alone, you're saving yourself maybe 400 to 500 calories. And if you do that every single day, guess what? You just lost a pound over the course of a week just by doing that alone. That's not even talking about your exercise or your nutrition. It's just you skipped a meal and now you're not eating that. So ease into it and you're going to gradually begin to increase how long and how many meals and snacks you skip. And once that happens, it becomes very, very easy to make this part of your diet and your lifestyle. So it's time to speak one on one. And the reason that all this works together is because it's just easy. So for myself, I'm able to walk and I enjoy it. You're going to eat, so eating low fat for me and having a big pile of food and having sandwiches, just find something that you enjoy but a slower calorie. It makes it that much easier than intermittent fasting. You're saving calories by not eating. This has been the most easy, sustainable, reliable, consistent form of weight loss that I've been able to find. In June, I started off at 292.3 pounds and I've dropped over 60 pounds just by doing these three simple things. My life has gotten so much better. These habits are much more consistent. They've become habits. And for myself, I wouldn't do anything differently. These are the three steps that I'm going to continue to do to lose 100 pounds. So this is weight loss in real time. Just over 8 weeks, we're making significant progress. You can definitely see it from the sides, but the weight is dropping off. It's been reliable, consistent, sustainable. And every time I step on the scale, whenever it's weigh-in day, I know that it's going to be lower than the previous week just because this stuff works. It's really good. So the week 8 weight loss results are in, and I've dropped a total of 40.1 pounds in 8 weeks. That averages to about 5 pounds per week, and it's been consistent. It's been, no big plateaus. I've been hitting my marks every single week. So walking, eating low fat, and doing intermittent fasting has been just amazing in terms of weight loss for me. This is what 40.1 pounds looks like in different angles. You can definitely see changes throughout every picture here. And weight is falling off. This has been fantastic. I'm very, very happy with the results so far. And with that, week 8 is in the books. We're down 40.1 pounds in 8 weeks. Yeah, this really doesn't show any signs of stopping. So if you haven't, leave a comment. Let me know how you make your weight loss a little bit easier in terms of your habits. And subscribe. Like I said, I'm in this for the long term. I'm here to lose weight, and I'm going to be documenting it every step of the way. So if you got some weight to lose, come along for the journey. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching.